Hiya, cats. Cosmic Cat here. Okay, so after some readings today, I really have been guided to stress the importance of power that we all have and the power within each of us and how we can access that, especially by going on an inner child journey, trying to meditate and get closer with our inner child. So we have here three cards, two of which came out earlier. These two cards came out earlier in a prior reading, but I did not go over them or pull them. I put them aside, and I'm being guided now to share them with you. So I wanted to share them with you and also bring in Persephone. So initiation, we'll start with this card. Are you in the initiation process right now? Do you feel as though you're not your old self, but yet you're not your new self yet either? Like you feel in between, an in-between stage? If so, this card is definitely where you're going through an initiation process that's going to really help you blossom once you get to the other side. You may not even recognize yourself on the other side, but because you have done the rituals, the ceremonies, you've surrendered here with your arms open wide, you've allowed energy to flow through you, in and out of you, while also doing ceremonies to help release, purge, and allow new energy to come in, and new ways of life, a new belief system, a new story for yourself. So you're in a transitional period, and if you feel like, you're kind of not sure who you are anymore right now at this time, this is a beautiful state. Actually, it can be very confusing too, but it's coming up because some of you are in this initiation phase and you're not sure. So please go ahead and like this video if this is you, and comment below just yes, initiation, or you can put a gold heart emoji, and that, well, I call the yellow hearts gold hearts. I always have. So if you want to put that down in the comment, we'll know that that is for you. Or if you'd like to do the ocean, the turquoise, that's fine too, whatever you would like. But this is basically showing that you have accomplished, because of your determination and the studying you've done, and the time and effort that you've put in on this journey for your transition, that you're in a transitional period, or that that accomplishment you've reached, and a transitional period is coming. Something else that I get with this card is it's so electric. Gold brings about purity, an angelic realm, and not only is there the pentagram here, which also gives sacred geometry and Archangel Metatron vibes, but also like these little, almost like they look like lightning cords, or the inside of our bodies where we have our veins. That's what they look like. And then up here it looks like lightning strikes of your energy is just so intensified at this time that's going through you. And you could even be having fevers that come and go, and that could be like a spiritual fever that you're having at this time. But one of the things this reminds me of, do you remember in the 80s or 90s, there was these, I think that's when they first came out. It's like these crystal globes, and you plug them in, and they have all these like energy strikes going everywhere all throughout it. But if you put your finger on one part, all of those currents go directly to that one finger that you have. So the energy is going all there. So this is you putting all of your energy into yourself and into what you really want to happen, the vision you've seen, the dream that you've wanted to create in your life, gaining the power and the knowledge and the self-worth and value to go along with it. That was a big part of doing this reading as well, is that Spirit really wants you to know Spirit, Creator, higher power, universe, source, God, whatever the name that feels comfortable for you and is best. When I say Spirit, that's who I am referring to. You know, that the messages are that you are worthy, valuable, you have value, you are of value, and you are enough, and also powerful. There's like this finding the power within that so many are going through at this time. There's been an increase of everyone on their spiritual journey and path. And to some degree, even those with denser energies that aren't interested or, you know, may shy away from it, or also just may not, just think it's too woo-woo for them, they're on a journey too. They may not even realize it, but they're still having symptoms and experiencing and being affected by the planetary alignments, by the solar movement, by the fact of March and its intensity with all of the retrogrades of the many different planets that we've had going into retrograde just within March. And on top of that, the lunar eclipse, which is solar eclipse always follows, and the full moon, the blood moon, yeah, everything that's happening right now, it's all happening in preparation. So if you've ever believed that there's a story written before you get here, and there's a story, you know, the book has already been written and the chapter's already complete. This is in preparation of that. It's almost like an owner's manual is what I'm getting, and that it's like, okay, so this is their owner's manual, and this is the way you think of how you put something together. You get something in the mail, a desk. You're going to put it together, a desk. You have instructions, and you have, this is what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen. Sure, sometimes there's a different little avenue, or, you know, I'm not going to put that little extra thing on there because I don't need it. I'm not going to need an extra little hook on the side to hook something on, so I'm not going to install that. And it'll still work okay. Your desk will still work. So there's things like that too. I mean, we still have our free will. So sometimes we choose the path less traveled, or the path that really, ideally, when the story was written, we were needing to go down the other path, and we'll eventually get to that path, but we're just going to veer off for a minute and take this other one for a little bit and then get back on it. It's almost like a roundabout way, or something of that nature. I hope this is making sense for you. But this is really showing that there's progress being made, that all of the effort and the spiritual work that you've done, the studying of the spiritual realm, because there's so much, there's esoteric symbols, there's so many different ways to, you know, there's breath work, yoga, kundalini, chakras, Reiki, there's the floating, I can't even think of the name of it. You know what I mean, though, when you're floating on the water, there's that. There's sound baths. There's just so many different ways and spiritual avenues out there for us now, that, and more every day something else comes out. I watched something about telekinetics the other day, how that's coming into play. I mean, and that's some real Star Wars stuff, right? It really is. That's like being able to move objects. And there's actually a teacher at a university that teaches this. So people are learning this. Human beings that are on this planet are actually learning telekinetics and using that at this time. So it's very fascinating how our world, how the school, the planet Earth, like, this is initiation. You are in the Earth school, and you have your initiation process is progressing. So this is a good phase for you. And then we come over to Persephone, and Persephone is all about resilience. It's about adjustments and how able you are to adjust and surrender to things that come your way. And having faith. Persephone was a very young girl when the Lord of the Underworld, Hades, came and just was fascinated by her. And he took her, he abducted her, and then offered her a fruit, a pomegranate. She ate the pomegranate and then became bound to him forever. She didn't know that. I mean, she was young. At the time, she didn't know all of that would happen, but it crowned her queen of the underworld. Therefore, she had to spend 3 months out of 3 months of the winter time of the death phase, in the underworld with Hades, and then would be able to return in the spring with her mother, who is the harvest goddess Demeter, to where she would be able to spend time. So what a way to really have your life set for you, right? Your path set for you. And so she had to really be resilient and just accept, surrender that this is what is her path. This is what is going to, her life is going to be like for the rest of her life. I mean, and who knows how old she was. All I know is she was young. So yeah, it basically, I mean, she is the ultimate symbol of the unconscious and hidden reality that is full of promises. It's full of riches. She instantly became a queen, and you know, it's a challenge. It's a challenge for her, that she had to have resilience and trust that she has the resources able to make the best out of any situation. And you can do this too if you allow yourself. You can allow yourself to be resilient, to go through this adjustment phase, and to have faith, especially if you're new to a spiritual awakening and you're not sure. Sometimes people go in blindly thinking that it's all cupcakes and rainbows. It definitely is not all cupcakes and rainbows. There is so much that you purge. There's so much intensity that you work through, because you're working on, and when I say work, I mean that in a very loving way, like a inspirational way. It's more like a creative way is what it is. It's like your creativity coming out, and an expression. It's a self-expression. Art is what it is. It's really a choice that you choose. And when you choose it, be prepared to go through be prepared to go through roller coaster ride. I mean, it is a lot of ups and downs. It's not for the faint of heart. It's not for anyone who is so sensitive that they cannot hear anyone tell them something like criticism that may not be 100% kind. Like they're unable to take criticism, harsh criticism. They're not able to take that. If you're not able to really look in the mirror at yourself, or own and take responsibility for your actions, or see what your part was in situations, then this probably isn't something. I mean, it would be a lot harder. It doesn't mean that you can't do it. It just means that it's going to be a bit more difficult for you, more intense. You will have some more intense purging to go on in that area, in that aspect. However, in some areas and other aspects of beliefs and patterns that you'd like to break, or cycles, you might whiz through that with a breeze and just be, it may not even be something that you have to work through. But others who are not so sensitive may have a lot to deal with. And so, you just don't ever know, is what I'm saying. I'm just trying to say that it's not all cut and dry. Everyone's experience is unique to their experience, as we are all individual people. However, we are also all one by one creator, which leads me to Lilith, who was the first card that came out earlier today. And Lilith is all about power and self-actualization, realizing the self and who you are, as she's all in green, very much the feminine aspect of yourself, of you. Just complete empowerment, self-empowerment. And, excuse me, and Lilith, what's interesting about Lilith is that it's said that she was the first female created in the Garden of Eden. And when the Creator discovered her to be dominant over her male counterpart, he was displeased and cast her out of Eden. So Lilith decided to change form and return as a serpent who tempted Eve to eat fruit from the tree of knowledge. So this is all a symbol. It symbolizes the need to exercise personal power. I mean, there's not any sin in embracing your own nature. It's not to say there will not be any pushback or consequences, but you're still called to be what you will be. So what's interesting about these two is that, in a way, so in this card, Persephone ate the fruit and then was bound forever to the underworld. Whereas in this card, Lilith was the one giving the fruit. So in this card, Lilith is so which one are you out of your initiation phase? What are you feeling that you're going to become? Do you feel that you're going to become a Lilith, more so as, you know, the more of a powerful leader that's going to outwit, outsmart, or perhaps persuade others? Maybe become an activist, take on an activist role, and persuade others to eat your fruit? Or is it Persephone, where you're going to be the other one eating the fruit, and maybe perhaps not even really realizing who is it that is handing you the fruit? What does it mean if you eat the fruit? Not asking questions about the fruit. Is this the hi love, hi baby, that's little love coming to visit us here. Yeah, what is it? Come here, baby. Come here. Okay. Come here. Okay. Come here. Yeah, so, I mean, all three of these are, oops. So, I mean, the initiation, are you going through initiation? And do you feel like you want to be part of, you know, you want to be able to have the power to, because both of these give power and get power. You get power either way. You have power by, I mean, in one aspect or another, you're gaining power over, you could gain power over a city, over a county, a country, something, gain power at where you spend 3 months out of a year somewhere else. I mean, that seems reasonable, right? And the underworld lives within all of us. The underworld really does truly live within all of us. Or is it more along the Lilith lines of, like, you know, someone telling you you're not welcome and you finding a way to make yourself welcome? You know, you finding a way to not only make yourself welcome, but change the outcome, the way that the future holds. That's bravery, boldness, and it's also feminine, again, your feminine empowerment. You being empowered to feel like, okay, this it's written this way, but I'm going to rewrite it this way. Okay? So, I mean, we're in a whole new beginnings. Well, for the northern hemisphere, we are in spring equinox, where we are moving away from the death of winter and into the rebirth of spring. Whereas if you're in the southern hemisphere, you're actually heading into winter, Persephone's phase, and you may call upon her for some guidance with this. And also, if you're feeling, if you're feeling like maybe you're in the middle of some trickery, it may help you to call upon Persephone for some guidance. And here, and the same for Lilith. I mean, they're both powerful women, goddesses. That's not to say anything's gender related, because we all carry, even gods and goddesses, they all carried feminine and masculine sides, just like we do. So are you in the initiation phase? Do you feel kind of lost sometimes as to where you're at? And what part are you working on? Are you letting go of, like, procrastination, anxiety, a lot of worry, maybe perhaps codependency or attachments? Is it anger or fear? I know for some it's definitely related to your self-worth and your value, and you're wanting to move more toward knowing that you have all of this inside of you. You are worthy. You are enough just as you are. That is a message that I was definitely told to share, that you are enough just as you are, and you have all of this inside of you. You have the power to create the life that you want to live. Okay? That's the basic message that I was guided to share with you. However, these cards did come out today, and with us being in spring, I wanted to share these cards as well. So I hope this resonates for you, and let me know where you're at in this process. How do you relate to Lilith? Does Lilith come to you in dreams? What about Persephone? Has Persephone come to you? Do you have a relationship? Are they your guides right now? Either one of them? Also, if you're in initiation phase, what part are you at? What is it that you're working with right now? And if you really don't really want to get into it too deep, although sharing is part of the journey, and it does help everyone grow and learn, grow. The initiation phase, sharing and learning and growing into studying and growing into a creation of something new or someone new. You can do a gold emoji heart for initiation. You can do a red emoji heart for Persephone, and a green emoji heart for Lilith. Just to sum that up, to let us all know where you're at with that, because it's important, especially if you're new to a spiritual journey, to actually have some support. It's really needed. Okay, that's the message we have. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, like my videos, share it with friends, and also drop a comment below. Have a cosmic day and tonight, meow.